In the realm of DevOps, security and compliance are paramount. They ensure that systems are protected against unauthorized access and that they adhere to regulatory standards. This presentation delves into the critical aspects of designing and implementing authentication and authorization methods, which are foundational to any security and compliance plan. We'll explore the principles, strategies, and tools necessary to safeguard your DevOps environment. Authentication is the process of verifying the identity of a user or system. It ensures that only legitimate users can access resources. Common methods include passwords, biometrics, and multi-factor authentication, MFA. In a DevOps context, robust authentication mechanisms are crucial to prevent unauthorized access to code repositories, deployment pipelines, and production environments. There are several authentication methods, each with its strengths and weaknesses. Password-based authentication is the most common, but also the most vulnerable. Biometric authentication, such as fingerprint or facial recognition, offers higher security, but requires specialized hardware. Multi-factor authentication, MFA, combines two or more methods, significantly enhancing security by requiring multiple forms of verification. Multi-factor authentication, MFA, is a security measure that requires users to provide two or more verification factors to gain access. Implementing MFA in a DevOps environment involves integrating it with your identity provider and ensuring that all critical systems and applications support it. This adds an extra layer of security, making it much harder for attackers to gain unauthorized access. Authorization is the process of determining what an authenticated user is allowed to do. It involves setting permissions and roles to control access to resources. In a DevOps environment, authorization ensures that users have the appropriate level of access to perform their tasks without exposing sensitive data or systems to unnecessary risk. Role-based access control, RBAC, is a method of regulating access based on the roles of individual users within an organization. In a DevOps setting, RBAC can be used to assign permissions to users based on their job functions. For example, developers might have access to code repositories, while operations staff have access to deployment tools. This minimizes the risk of unauthorized access and helps maintain a secure environment. To implement RBAC in a DevOps environment, start by defining roles and responsibilities within your team. Next, map these roles to the necessary permissions for accessing various systems and tools. Use your identity provider or access management system to enforce these roles and permissions. Regularly review and update roles to ensure they align with current job functions and security requirements. Policy-based access control, PBAC, is another method of managing access where policies define the conditions under which access is granted. These policies can be based on various factors, such as time of day, location, or the type of device being used. PBAC offers more granular control compared to RBAC and can be particularly useful in dynamic DevOps environments where access needs may change frequently. Implementing PBAC involves defining access policies that align with your security requirements. These policies should be enforced through your access management system. For example, you might create a policy that restricts access to certain systems outside of business hours or from untrusted networks. Regularly review and update these policies to adapt to changing security needs and ensure compliance with regulatory standards. Identity and Access Management, IAM, is a framework of policies and technologies for ensuring that the right individuals have access to the right resources at the right times. In a DevOps environment, IAM is crucial for managing user identities, enforcing access controls, and ensuring compliance with security policies. Effective IAM reduces the risk of unauthorized access and helps maintain a secure and compliant environment. To implement IAM in a DevOps environment, start by selecting an IAM solution that integrates well with your existing tools and systems. Define and enforce access policies. Manage user identities and regularly audit access logs to detect and respond to potential security threats. Ensure that your IAM solution supports MFA and other advanced authentication methods to enhance security. Continuous monitoring and auditing are essential components of a robust security and compliance plan. In a DevOps environment, this involves regularly reviewing access logs, monitoring for suspicious activity, and auditing user permissions. Automated tools can help streamline these processes, providing real-time insights and alerts to potential security issues. Continuous monitoring and auditing help ensure that your authentication and authorization methods remain effective and compliant with regulatory standards. There are various tools available to help implement and manage authentication and authorization in a DevOps environment. Popular options include Azure Active Directory, AWS IAM, and Okta. These tools offer features such as single sign-on, SSO, MFA, and RBAC, making it easier to enforce security policies and manage user access. Choose tools that integrate well with your existing systems and provide the necessary features to meet your security and compliance requirements. To ensure the effectiveness of your authentication and authorization methods, follow best practices such as using strong, unique passwords, enabling MFA, regularly reviewing and updating access policies, and conducting regular security audits. Educate your team on the importance of security and compliance and foster a culture of vigilance and responsibility. By adhering to best practices, you can significantly reduce the risk of security breaches and ensure compliance with regulatory standards. Let's explore a case study of a company that successfully implemented robust authentication and authorization methods in their DevOps environment. This company faced challenges with unauthorized access and compliance violations. By adopting MFA, RBAC, and continuous monitoring, they were able to enhance their security posture and achieve compliance with industry regulations. This case study highlights the importance of a comprehensive security and compliance plan and demonstrates the tangible benefits of implementing effective authentication and authorization methods. In conclusion, designing and implementing authentication and authorization methods are critical components of a security and compliance plan in a DevOps environment. By understanding the principles of authentication and authorization, implementing robust methods such as MFA and RBAC, and continuously monitoring and auditing access, you can protect your systems and ensure compliance with regulatory standards. The next steps involve assessing your current security posture, identifying areas for improvement, and implementing the strategies and tools discussed in this presentation to enhance your security and compliance efforts.